And now, another episode of MMA Gossip with your boys.
Boom. We're live, baby. MMA Gossip, episode number 85. After some technical difficulties, again, we don't know what we're doing around here. Mike got a new computer and started a new business, already successful business. If you want to shout that out, it could be our first official podcast sponsor. But with that being said, we're back on a Thursday, usually a Wednesday. Mike got a new computer and he runs the show around here, so it's a Thursday. Anyways, we always say it, the world of MMA, boxing, everything never sleeps. We're back again. It might not be the strongest UFC card in the world, nor was last week's. That's one of my two questions that I have for you guys going into this. But anyways, we have a UFC card this week, and we also have a major boxing card this week, the Wilder Fury trilogy. Some boxing news I could break down. Bellator dropping a lot of bombs on us this week. So Scott Coker's a friggin' pimp. So shout out to him. But yeah, a lot of fights announced, Ngannou versus Gane, big fights announced, and a lot of interviews done this week. I feel like a lot of shit happened this week, and it was like a slow week. I guess since it's not a big card, there hasn't been a lot of promotion, but there's been a lot of interviews that I've seen done. Maybe I'm just looking more because I'm not too concerned about the fights. But anyway, with that being said, a couple boys out, like, comment, subscribe, and without further ado, Mike will get us into it.
Chris, you're the man. Love the intros, man. Crushing it all the time. So looking back at last week, pretty underwhelming main event. But Chris, I'm interested to hear what your question is. What's your question for us about last week?
Oh, so no, it's just with the strength of the UFC cards, right? So UFC 267 is not a pay-per-view. Do you think that it's a hard question, but the UFC started this streaming service early, right? ESPN Plus, and a lot of people still aren't warmed up to it. And I'm going to make a statement basically, and you guys respond. It's not much of a question. I was just trying to think of how to frame it. Basically, the UFC cards have been rather weak, right? Like last week's main event was a questionable main event. This week's main event, I get it more so. Women prospects fighting, I get it. But then don't you think that should lead up to a super strong pay-per-view in the near future? UFC 267 isn't even a pay-per-view. It's free. So and they're streaming it. They're numbering it because they need a certain amount of numbered pay-per-view events on ESPN Plus. So they're counting that as one, even though it's not pay-per-view. So what do you think the deal is? Do you think that it's either the streaming service and the ESPN deal, or they're just running too many cards a year, basically, and they can't make all of them so strong?
I think they're running too many cards a year because you didn't see this volume when they were on Fox, and the cards were a lot easier to load up.
Right. But to counter that,
as a fan, like our type of fan, I appreciate the fuck out of it because I don't care if it's Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier, or literally like this weekend, Mackenzie Dern and Rodriguez. Like, I appreciate watching fights. That being said, you're obviously just not going to get the same viewership that you would with a card like this. But I think it's the game you play, and it's a double-edged sword. I don't know if it's beneficial or not because I don't know how you would measure your level of success there. I mean, the UFC as a whole is, it's the fucking top promotion in the world without a shadow of a doubt. Like, they're obviously doing something right. But I think being that they're held to that standard, they get away with doing stuff like this because when they do put on that big show, like November 6th, nobody's going to be worried about something like this. But I will say it does kind of get annoying, like lately, especially like even I look at this card and I'm like, all right, good. Like something else got to be coming. I look at next weekend, and up until like less than 24 hours ago, I was looking at a Holly Holm main event. And it's like, damn, like I'm kind of craving that Saturday 6-7 hour card where every fight is just like boom, boom, boom. And it feels like it's been a minute. Feels like it's been.
Chris, you got to counter that? I didn't want to interrupt you. What was your counter?
No, but it's funny that Matt said the UFC is number one, which is obviously true. And I'll go into that after, because that actually brings me to my second question. So you go first.
So, yeah, I do think it's a little oversaturated. I do find myself feeling like not very excited for the card, but where am I going to be at 6 o'clock on a Saturday? My ass is going to be on the couch watching them anyways, which I'm very grateful for because I fucking love watching fights, even though it's Santos and Walker, which I don't give a fuck about. Like, I was watching it while Lisa was asleep on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm going to do. But at the same time, how do you not have this many events when you have that many people on the roster and they have a certain amount of contracts they have to fight throughout the year? So you got to fulfill. I think it's good because the roster is full and the athletes are fighting and we're getting newer guys, the best guys at the bottom, contender series, this, that, and the other thing. I love the oversaturation, if you will, even though it's like a negative concept, I guess. But I mean, this is what we need. I mean, like, I feel like this is what the sport needs. It needs consistent, steady flowing, organization. And let's be real, like PFL and Bellator, even though they're 2 and 3, they are so fucking far behind that it's not even funny. So I don't think it's a problem. I think they're doing great with everything that they're doing. And, MMA fans have some of the most hardcore fans of any sport. So if anything, this is just going to keep gathering up the fan base. And eventually this is going to be the most watched sport on fucking planet Earth. I mean, if it's not already, I mean, it is a worldwide sport,
I agree.
To go off what Mike just said, all these people that like bitch and moan about fight pay, all these cards, all they're doing is giving people more opportunity financially and from a career perspective. Look at Kevin Holland last year, 5 fights. Came out of nowhere, 5 fights, all 5 and up the same year. Like, it's providing that opportunity that might be lacking for somebody that's just coming up. Like, or yeah, maybe you're not making numbers to the point where you could afford to quit your day job, but maybe you fight 4 or 5 times a year instead of 2 to 3. I think it benefits all parties involved.
I agree, and basically, with their ESPN deal, they have to put on a certain number of shows. So it just sometimes they oversaturate, and then I like I said, like Matt said, but we can't be mad at. You can't be mad that a card like November 6th is forming and then complain about Dern and Rodriguez. You know what I mean? So I get it. It's all in the contract, and they know what the fuck they're doing, and I don't. But what you guys both said brings me to my next point. So Scott Coker dropped a lot of bombs on Ariel's show this week. Did a sick interview. Even Patricio Pitbull had hopped on. We'll get into that later. But he said that he obviously acknowledges UFC is a clear number one promoter in the fights world. The UFC is the cream of the crop, number one organization. He said, because PFL's been flaunting around that they're number 2. Scott Coker said, come on, like, Ariel, what he basically said, Ariel, what do you think? Ariel tries to play both sides of the fence, but Ariel said flat out, he goes, I will say you guys have a deeper roster. He just tried to keep it as, he doesn't want to offend anyone at PFL because he wants that fucking Ray Seppo interview too, Exactly. But I think that Bellator is a clear cut number 2, and I assume you guys agree. And then PFL being 3 and 1 being 4, I guess. But is 1 4 because it's in Asia, not in the US? Is kind of my question. And I assume I
actually would agree with that. I would put PFL last.
I think so too. I kind of think so too, dude. I think that 1 is a deeper roster than PFL.
Yeah, and I love 1's concept of mixing up the different martial arts on cards. I think that's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And now you can see, even though the fight didn't happen in the Rodtang fight, you saw mixing up martial arts within the same fight. Yeah, I know.
Dude, it's one of those fights where, the mixed rules is so crazy, but it's like, can Mighty Mouse hang on, like, absorb that onslaught that's going to come in round 1 and then just come out in round 2 and take him down instantly? Like, is that what's going to happen? You know what I mean? It's cool. That's a cool fight, and they're both pimps for taking that. And Rodtang had a fight booked before then. Like, he's a beast, dude. He doesn't stop.
They're making that up or no?
Huh?
Are they making that fight up?
Rodtang, well, I don't know. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that. Probably not. Why risk it? That injury close to a Mighty Mouse super fight. Like, what the fuck would you do that for? It's fun.
The Mighty Mouse fight. They rescheduled that.
To what?
I'm asking you. Did they? Rodtang and Mighty Mouse.
No, it's still the same date.
Oh, he had to pull out of his other fight because of COVID.
Yeah. My bad. I didn't understand what you meant. Yeah, no, his other fight. But yeah, that fight's gonna be sweet. But I also think I rank that in my fandom level. UFC definitely the top, then Bellator. But dude, honestly, Bellator, there's a bigger gap.
Shut up.
There's a bigger gap in reality, like in actual ratings. The UFC is fucking here, and Bellator's out of the screen, but my fandom is like UFC's here and Bellator's like you know,
A little bit on-
dude,
Bro, I
love
love you, man, but I can't. After Bellator last week, man, I was just like,
Dude.
like, come on, bro. Like they just like it's like they're slipping up on purpose. It's like, oh, we're Bellator, you know. That's
Yeah.
what
Dude, that's why it's
It's
awesome.
like-
Like, there's nothing more. Like, I love staying up until fucking 2:00 in the morning and watch Frank Mir get like knocked out in 13 seconds. Like, that's what I'm here for. Like, dude, there's nothing better than that. But then there's also when I stay up with Michael Chandler and Benson Henderson, like I always go back to, and I made Mark Luciano stay up, and
Yeah.
it's just that. But anyway, Scott Coker, if we want to get right into that while we're talking about Bellator, Scott Coker dropped a lot of bombs and see what you guys think. All Bellator main events, talking about last week, are 5 rounds now, which is a long time coming, and I'm fucking pumped about that. He said that they basically had been talking about it for probably 6 to 8 months, considering doing it. And then there was a fight that he said him and like Rich and we're like, damn, that should have been 5 rounds. Like I wanted 2 more of that. Then he said when it happened with Yoel Romero, he was like, fuck, like not that I wanted to see 2 more rounds of that per se, but wouldn't you want to know what happened if he did have 2 more rounds, if he really was going to empty the tank? And then he said with MVP and Lima, it was just, he was like, all right, enough's enough. I'm making the official announcement. So what he did is, because they have fighters already signed through the end of the year to contracts, they don't want to go back and change them. So starting on January 1st, 2022, all Bellator main events are 5 rounds. With that being said, other 5-round fights he mentioned are Sinead Kavanagh will be taking on Chris Cyborg in for the 145 belt, and he kind of said that he was thinking about signing Kayla Harrison when she becomes a free agent. He said it without being able to say it because he legally can't like negotiate with her and stuff, but he said that they're interested in doing that and putting on the fight with her and Cyborg, which would be fucking pimp as fuck. Patricio Pitbull fucking vacated the 155 belt so his brother could fight Peter Queally. Bizarre, but anyway, it's a rematch, so they're running it back. Main event in Ireland. That means that the Mix Gallagher fight is now the co-main, but they're calling it what do they call it? A semi-main. Like it's not like the co-main. It's like the main A and main B, which is awesome of Bellator.
So fucking Bellator, dude. So Bellator.
And what else did they say? So Pitbull basically vacated his belt and said that for 2 reasons. One, his brother, he felt was the number 1 contender, didn't want to stop him from trying to win a belt. And 2, he said if he got beat at 145, so his mission is to get AJ back and say, how could I get knocked out or choked out at 145 and be the 55 champ? Which I'm like, all right, I feel you. So rightfully so. But yeah, they had to AJ McKee's last fight. I don't know how they did that. Bellator's on crack for doing that. AJ McKee's last fight in his contract was that fight.
Wow.
So he went right. So he goes in there and like puts it all on the line for himself, basically wins, and then has all the chips. But Bellator's gonna sign him back, all the chips. And Coker said they really want AJ McKee to be like a long-term Bellator staple, which he is. I think he's 17-0, all in Bellator. Fucking pimp. So props to him. But what do you guys think? How do you think that rematch goes down? And what do you guys think about Patricio Pitbull saying the fight was stopped early?
All right. Well, no, it wasn't stopped early. It was perfectly stopped. I assumed the first time I watched it was perfectly stopped, and I was looking online. People were saying it was controversial. Like, no, it was perfect.
Oh, dude, he was sleeping.
It was exactly how it was supposed to happen. But no, I kind of think Patricio, like, is he definitely gonna fight AJ in a rematch? Like, I thought that was his ticket by being the 155-pound champ. Like, that would be like the perfect story.
Well, what they said was originally, and Ariel said has been campaigning for, it's not a recent thing. He said that they should just make the rematch, but at 55. So AJ has a chance of becoming the double champ, but that's not happening. And Coker said they've been in talks with both sides, and it's not he said by any means, it's not a done deal, but it's trending in the right direction.
I think AJ's going to roll again. I mean,
I do too.
If we think he's as good as we all think he is.
I mean, he is that good.
He is. He's a fucking freak. Athletic.
I really want to, dude. We should go to a Bellator fight when they're in Mohegan Sun. We should. I really want to go.
I'm down.
I really want to go.
Would you say, Matt?
I would definitely go see a Bellator. Dude,
if you guys like came through, like,
I'll go see any fights, dude.
Yeah, man. You guys come through like what we did for Buffalo. You guys come to my house and
Yeah.
I'll drive the rest of the way. I would stay there though, because I'll get hammered.
Oh, of course.
We're not driving back.
Yeah. But Mikey, UFC, take us through. We can talk about Wilder too if you guys want to.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's talk about that, because I'm like in awe. Like I've been, I saw the Tyson Fury interview with Ariel. Like I've seen I saw the interview with Tom Aspinall about his encounter with Tyson Fury, and it's just like to me he's like this fucking like I don't even follow boxing. I just really think he's just like a second coming of like someone special. I really think that he's gonna roll here. I mean, my heart's going out to like I really like the guy, his character and his demeanor, everything about him is just awesome. So I hope that he doesn't get fucking knocked the fuck out by Deontay Wilder. But what do you guys think?
I think he's going to win again too. Unfortunately, I'm rooting for Wilder, but I think Fury's going to win again. There's no over evaluation needed here. It's the same thing as the first time. One guy's a better boxer. The other guy could literally stop a fucking 18-wheeler with his fist. So,
Dude,
go ahead, Chris.
When I saw Wilder fight live before he was like big time, and I was there to see what's his name? The alien, Bernard Hopkins. He was the main event, and that's what I was there to see. Me and Andre went, and Deontay Wilder was like third from the top, so like the co-main, and he won with a first round knockout, and it was crazy. He was and he's just a freak. He's like 6'10", whatever the fuck he is, just like thunderous athlete. You know what I mean? He's a fucking beast. He's not 6'10". How fucking tall is he? Like 6'8", I think.
He's like 6'7", 6'8". He's
I think he's like 6'7". Yeah, they're both gigantic. But Tyson Fury really just does seem like he's destined to win here. And what he said really hit the feels. He said to Deontay Wilder, he's like, you're always going to be remembered as the guy who lost to Tyson Fury twice. You know what I mean? And really, the first time was Tyson Fury won I think Tyson Fury won the match, but Deontay Wilder won the fight. And then in the rematch, Tyson Fury won everything. Yeah. And we'll see what happens the third time. But they're gonna make a fuck ton of money, so good for those guys. What are the odds right now, Matt? Where are they at?
I think I have to double check, but pretty sure Fury is like minus. I think he's about close to 300.
He's that big?
A little over 300, like minus 325 or something.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, isn't he just going to win until he gets knocked out? Like, that's just this, right? I mean, he either wins the whole time or wins until he gets knocked out, right? I mean,
yeah. I guess so. We'll see. Okay. But again, the theme going into this fight just seems that Fury's going to roll. Like, no one is picking Wilder.
You're right, man. That's scary as fuck.
That's scary, though.
Damn.
You're counting out a guy that literally carries dynamite in his hands at all times. Clearly, like, will carry it the whole fight. Right now, you can actually get Fury under 300 at 295. And you can get Wilder at plus 235.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's some money coming in on Wilder that shows. In the over on rounds is actually kind of like that.
Matt, don't say anything.
Okay, I guess.
What are the odds on the fight stopping in like rounds? Like, do they do like 1 through 4, 5 through 8, or whatever it is? Because I would pick 5 through 8.
I'm getting it for you. Well, that actually falls in line with the over.
That's why I'm asking. That's my prediction.
7.5. So
that's crazy.
That's crazy. You're right there, Chris.
So who do you want to know? Do you want to get Fury? All right. So here we go again.
Fury 5 through 8.
So they don't have by like groupings. They have Fury round 5 plus 1,400, round 6, 1,200, 7, 1,200, 8, 1,200. And then for Wilder, you have 2,500, 2,500, 2,800, 3,500.
Dude, Wilder by that much? I would almost just put $10 on every round. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I would lose at that point, but you know what I'm saying.
I would put 1,000 on each round.
Matt's coming back.
Matt's getting the itches, man. But
Matt, what are you sprinkling, Matt?
No, I can't. I'm being a good boy. Why can't I edit this?
Dude, we were talking today about cryptocurrency and our 401ks, and Matt's like, dude, I should really just empty my 401k into cryptocurrency.
I was just like the same thing. I told him I was considering taking a $10,000 loss in the stock market and just putting it all in ADA.
Dude, you're a psycho, dude.
All right, guys, looking ahead, we got a 10-fight card. Mackenzie Dern versus Marina Rodriguez, main event. Talk about clash of styles. I mean, we got somebody that's got essentially no ground game against maybe the best ground game in the division, and then you got someone who's got probably the best hands. I think Marina Rodriguez's hands are fucking unreal versus someone. I mean, Mackenzie's getting better, so I can't even dog her there. So I guess that's why the odds are what they are. Slight, what is it, minus 160 on Dern or something like that. So
yeah. Mike, pull up the best fight odds for the card.
Give me a sec. I got new
X
text.
out of Pornhub.
Yep, I got you.
Yeah, dude. Who do you guys think is gonna win? We'll go right from the main event. Who you guys think?
I got Rodriguez. I think every fight starts on the feet, and her hands are devastating. So
yeah, I got Rodriguez too. But her jits is nasty too.
Yeah.
But I got Rodriguez. She's been such a fucking killer. I actually like her a lot. I think she's a pretty exciting.
Hannah Cipher, dude. The one thing that scared me a lot was when I saw, I thought Dern was really strong, and then she dominated the fight clearly and won by submission. When she fought Hannah Cyphers, and Hannah Cyphers kind of bullied her against the cage a little bit, I was like, what the fuck is happening? And that scared me going forward, especially someone with if Rodriguez could not do it to that extent, but just at least clear and go into space again, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And at plus money like that, god damn.
I know, but then when she gets on the ground, she's fucked. But I don't see Mackenzie double, power double legging, So she
has got Mike Trezano.
That fight? No, I think that fight got canceled.
Canceled, right? I thought so too.
So did the Sam Hughes fight. Not that mattered. Not that.
I didn't know that. I knew the Mike Trezano because friend of the podcast.
Hell yeah, baby.
I saw a diehard MMA. I love him because he's a dog rider. I love that. He literally almost exclusively bets on underdogs. But I have to disagree with him betting on drawn wins this card.
Yeah, dude. What, dude? He's fucked, man. I mean, I think Deron Witt is absolutely fucked.
That's Mike's favorite fighter.
I'm only because everybody's been down him and I made money on him. That's why.
I'm locking Hawes this weekend
at minus 350.
Oh wait, he's 350.
It's like 305 is his lowest spot, I think.
Oh, that's 315. Guess I'm not locking him.
Matt's gonna see it dip to minus 299 and spring on.
Yeah, I'm gonna screenshot it immediately.
Yeah. Minus 1,000. Minus 1,000, Mariah.
That's a fight I would liquidate my life savings on.
On who?
Pause. Deron wins not winning that fight.
Dude, I don't know, man.
What I could see happening is Deron Wynn getting the shit beat out of him until Phil Hawes inevitably gasses.
Yeah, but so he gasses too. I mean,
yeah, he kind of does too.
Dude, he sucks. He's not good, dude. I really don't think he's good. I think he got a little, help from DC and then
a lot of help.
Yeah, lot of help. And I'm actually super pumped for. I think Mateus Nicolau is actually really, 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 really good. I just think that his chin is a little, his durability is a little lacking. But
so is Tim Elliott's at this point.
I think Tim Elliott's kind of fucked in every realm of the fight. Life. He wins and life. Yeah. Who's he dating? Who's his wife again? Gina Mazzani.
Gina Dobson.
Yeah.
No.
Yo, speaking of Shayna Dobson, she was a plus 800 against Mariah Agapova, and now Mariah is finally back over a year later. Yo, I was listening to Dogger Pass podcast with Cody Safdie and Paul Shaughnessy. Shout out to those guys. Dude has been he I don't know if you know this, but he's picked every single fight right for the past 30 fights.
What?
dude, I swear to God, like if you look back on his record on his Twitter account and he tweets out his picks,
That's
he's
insane.
over 30 in a row between Bellator, 2 UFC events, and the Contender Series. He's got over 30 correct in a row. Unbelievable.
I
Anyway,
would finally decide to tail him. The guy would snap his leg in the octagon.
I know, yeah. But
Dude, the MMA gossip was ice cold this past weekend.
what
We
happened?
had our worst week
Oh.
ever, I think, this
So
weekend.
a lot of dogs won.
Yeah, no, we fucked that
I
up.
picked 2 dogs. I think I had, not including my dog, I might have had 3 underdogs. I had at
Actually,
least
no,
2.
I had underdogs too. I had that loser fucking who the fuck Serkinov.
Oh yeah.
And I had another underdog this past
You
week.
had Valentina,
Yeah.
Antonina, rather.
I had Anthony in it as well.
I
Yeah.
don't know why I
had-
took there.
Yeah.
Matt, Mike, rather, run us through your bets, dude. What are your best bets on this card? You sprinkle any
Oh.
cash or what? What you got?
Yeah. So last week I took a week off because I hit like 3 weeks in a row of like losing. So I was like, I am taking a break last week. But I have a couple this week I really like. So like I told you, I'm already betting on Marina Rodriguez. But I also got a couple unders that I think are like little sneaky, like underdog unders. So like Tim Elliott and Mateus Nicolau to not go to decision is plus 150. I can see one of those guys getting a finish in that fight.
Yeah.
100%. Sabina Mazo and Maria Agapova go the distance. No, that there because I don't trust her. And I also did I parlayed Mateus Nicolau with fucking our boy Peter Yan who fights October 30th, baby.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. And that's it. Nothing crazy this week. I'm not going crazy. I just like I haven't had time to like, dig into it, with everything changing in my life. So I was like, I need to take a little break. But
I already have my locks for 2 weeks from now.
yep, is it Peter Yan?
No, it's just that stupid what's it called? The Dumont card. Fading Danny Hot Sauce Roberts.
Yeah, he's not gonna
Definitely going with I'm gonna say this girl's fucking name wrong. The girl fighting against Myra. The French chick.
Oh, Manon Fiorot.
Fiora, yeah. She's filthy.
Yeah, she's good, man. She's good. Yo, I just want to say this now before November 20th because I'm placing a fat $500 max bet on this dude. And I just have a feeling that he's that good. No matter what the odds are, I'm putting $500 on him. His name is Nathan Levy. He was on the Contender Series, like
Nate Levy, yeah.
Yeah, like maybe last he trains a Syndicate. I've been following him, dude, and I've watched his fights, and then I saw his like Contender Series fight. It was like mad late notice, and just the way he was like grappling and transitioning, got the submission against a guy that was on the Contender Series previously and looked good. I was just like, this dude is sky's the limit. And then he's fighting, I think it's Rafa Garcia, who I think he was like a minus 335 in his last fight against fucking not Luke Sanders, fucking Grutzmacher, and then Grutzmacher pulled out that dub, like that crazy plus 300 dub. So I was like, I think this is the perfect intro fight for him into the UFC. Listen for the name Nathan Levy. Dude's going far. I'm trying to get him on the podcast. Fuck it. I've liked his stuff a little bit and reposted his shit.
Let's do it, bro.
He's recognized it, so let's get his ass.
Dude,
on.
you know who I want to get in the starting? I thought you were done, Mike. I'm sorry. You know who I want to get in the podcast? Tyler Minton, the nutritionist.
Oh,
yeah.
He's awesome. Awesome, dude. Super responsive. I'm back. Super responsive to me. So he follows me on Instagram. Actually, I followed him for a while. He follows me, and I just asked him like nutrition stuff here and there. We just bullshit like workouts, and he responds right away. Then one day he posted a question about his having a Jeep Wrangler, and I knew so I messaged him. I responded to his story, and he reached out to me over DM. We went back and forth, probably like 10 messages. And he's like, "Oh, dude, that's super helpful. Like, thank you. I didn't know that." And then I've talked to him a couple times since. I just actually messaged him the other day, and he responded. And I was like, "Yo, I should ask him to come on the podcast." And he'll definitely say, "Yeah." I know right now he's in camp with Colby, so maybe right after that fight, I'll hit him up.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
So
hell yeah.
He's a pimp. I would love to pick his brain. He knows so much about fighting and so much about nutrition. He's a fucking pimp.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome, dude. We'll get him. We're getting him on. It's happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
But That's it. I mean, the rest of the fights are a little low, a little low level. I really don't care for Charles Rosa ever anymore, ever again, or Damon Jackson for that matter.
Dude, I was woof.
We got Alexander Romanov. Remember he pulled that shit against Juan Espino in the last fight where he just like basically gave up like Diego Sanchez did and got the win. So
Dude.
interesting. And that's it, guys. I mean, I'm pumped for another weekend of fights. Are you guys buying the pay-per-view
What
for
do you mean?
boxing?
Oh,
Oh
no.
yeah. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I'm like seriously considering it.
I will.
So,
I'm actually pulling an Irish exit at a wedding, so I will probably I mean, I really don't give I only care for the main event. So yeah, I probably will end up getting it later in the evening.
Feel that.
good shit.
My aunt, we have a party. My aunt who passed away like during peak COVID, they couldn't have a funeral for her because everyone that wanted to go is old. So tomorrow or Sunday rather, we're doing like a repass, I guess, like a little party for her. Not a little party. My whole family's going. So it'll be like probably 100 fucking people there. But I got to be there mad early in the morning, so I can't stay at the wedding late and get fucked up, you know.
Hey man,
But
priorities, bro. It's all good.
also, I didn't even talk about the whatchamacallit, Teofimo Lopez. You see what happened with him and Triller? Triller offered him $6 million to fight Kambosos Jr. and they couldn't get the promotion rights. They offered him $6 million, spent $10 million to promote it, and lost the rights to the fight. And what's his name? Eddie Hearn took it over now and is paying him because they were trying to only offer him 1.2 million, and which is his minimum contract. He's like, no. So they went to a bid. That's how they do it in boxing because the Aliyah, and he got 6 million from Triller, accepted Triller's offer, and Triller just totally went under. So now Lomachenko, who he beat in his last fight, is already fought twice, and Teofimo Lopez can't get a fucking fight booked.
That's fucked.
Triller sucks, dude.
Yeah.
They're a clown. But anyways, on a positive note, episode 85 in the fucking books. Like, comment, subscribe. Mike, shout out your business. So when this blows up in the future and it has hundreds of millions of views and people come back and watch these episodes, they'll always remember.
Yeah, Alessandra Seal Coat. You guys need your driveway seal coated? I'm Mike, the seal coat guy. Give me a call.
If you need your tank filled, Mike's also your guy.
My guy.
But that's all I got for you guys.
Love you guys. See you next week.
All right. Peace, guys.